causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Excuse me, sir. Forgot your receipt.
Checkout lines. Who needs them?
Have a nice day.
This is the future of e-business.
When your life and all you love are on the line.
HealthLink is always with you when every second counts in the emergency room, providing immediate access to your medical records.
Because Bob has trouble remembering all his medications.
Because I'm in love with my kids' kids.
Because my car lost control while driving.
Because now I'm looking out for both of us.
Because I have diabetes, but it doesn't have me.
Because I spend my life in the ER trying to save yours.
You may remember when we had the Jacobs family here on Today last month, they announced they'd be the first family to be fitted with the microchip. It's a tiny computer chip that can be implanted in the body. And then back this morning to have the procedure done. Jeff, Leslie, and Derek Jacobs are joined by Dr. David Wolkin. Good morning to all of you.
In medical news tonight, a chip the size of a grain of rice could save your life.
7's on call with Dr. Jay Adlersberg. Jay?
Sade, Diana, what happens if you're in a bad accident and can't communicate with emergency workers and doctors? New microchip technology now makes it possible for the emergency room staff to find out about your medical history at the touch of a computer key.
And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth. And there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image.
One of the loudest voices of opposition is right here in the Boston area, a Harvard doctor and author of spy chips.
These technologies will not make us safer. I think they'll make us sitting ducks for Big Brother.
Dr. Catherine Albrecht also compiled 16 years of studies she says prove the chip can cause cancerous tumors.
It's clear as day that these tumors were not only malignant, but they metastasize, they spread to the lungs, the liver, the thymus, the brain.
These pictures show the tumors growing around the actual chip in the mice and rats.
Certainly the company, I mean, they've done, I think, a tremendous job of keeping that information under wraps for the last several years.
The whole agenda is to create a one-world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is given me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all money will be in your chips. And so, instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip. And you have nothing. You can't buy food. You can't do anything. It's total control of the people.
And that chip's connected to a database that has your purchasing records, what you do, what
Everything.
you sell.
Everything is in there, you know? And so they want a one-world government controlled by them, everybody being chipped, all your money in those chips, and they control the chips, and they control people. And you become a slave. You become a serf to these people. That's their goal.
Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Three sixes are inbuilt physically and technologically into many of the RFID chips that are out there, including those that are associated with goods that are bought and sold. Many of these chips that are being put into goods that are bought and sold right now, RFID chips, currently, they've been miniaturized and are being miniaturized to such a point that they're smaller than a grain of sand. They can make them so small they're difficult, in fact, to see with the naked eye at this point. When they put it in a human body, encapsulate it in glass, for example, the microchip technology that a lot of people have heard about, it's actually a very primitive form of the RFID chips that now exist. And huge compared to many of the chips that now exist. So could they potentially implant something like this in the forehead and have it not be visible? You bet. In the hand and have it not be visible? Absolutely. But what a lot of people don't know is that these chips have EPC barcodes associated with them.
On Goat, a government-owned alien territory in space, a birth of magnificent and magical proportions took place. But the birth was not finite, it was infinite.
So, Terry Mugler.
Okay.
Actually, it was inspired by humanoids,
okay.
Alien sex humanoid hybrid woman.
Alien sex humanoid hybrid woman.
Well, you are looking at what could be a UFO. More unexplained lights over Stephenville. Is this some military secret or a visitor from space?
If one of these craft came down on Earth and did an interview with one of us, the debate would be over. But that hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't happened yet, but there's, who knows? Who knows?
But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came, and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken, and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown.
Aliens, it's the aliens who come and save planet Earth in the movie Knowing. It's actually 2006, ABC put out a movie called Fallen, where this young man named Aaron discovers that he's the Redeemer who is supposed to take the Nephilim back to heaven. That's the term they use, is the Nephilim. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. So if you start looking at all these things together and putting them together, you'll see this composite of how we are supposed to believe in these coming aliens. But not only that, it's not only Hollywood that's putting out this stuff, but we got all kinds of guys beating the drum. You've got Michio Kaku, who is a world-renowned physicist. You have Stephen Hawking, who is also very brilliant and world-renowned, and a host of others who keep talking about how the aliens are coming. It's just a matter of time. It's not a question of if they're out there. It's a question of when are they going to show up and what are they going to be like. And I really see two scenarios coming. That there's going to be some so-called quote-unquote good angels that are going to come and save the day, and then there's going to be some bad angels or bad aliens that you need to watch out for. This is where you have a lot of people, New Agers especially, but are getting these communications from so-called aliens. Now, just for the record, I don't believe in aliens. So when we talk about aliens, we're really talking about fallen angels that are pretending to be aliens. Again, they can't be gods of old because that's really yesterday's news, right? We don't believe in that anymore. And evolution has taught us that there is no God and that, you know, that everything just evolved. That's one of the big lies of the enemy. He had to first establish that lie, that evolution is true, and to get everybody to buy into that and to discredit the Bible.
Because the Bible doesn't mention them at all. It doesn't talk about quote-unquote aliens or creatures from other planets, but it does talk about invaders from space.
Yes.
And of an entirely different sort.
Yes, and exactly.